Welcome to checXchange Refresher, assisting business customers in the recovery of funds from NSF checks. This presentation provides an overview of checXchange, an electronic check recovery program offered to our business customers. By the end of the session, you will have an understanding of checXchange, electronic check recovery, how it helps our customers, and how it helps the bank. We'll look at how it works, and how business customers get registered for this great free service. You'll see the many ways business customers can access information and learn some of the unique elements of the program. So what is electronic check recovery? Electronic check recovery is a no-cost service designed to enhance our business customers' cash flow. It makes it easier, cheaper, and faster for businesses to recover checks returned due to non-sufficient funds. Our bank teamed up with checXchange to provide electronic check recovery to our business customers. NSF checks that were once returned to businesses for collection are automatically forwarded directly to the checXchange Check Processing Center if the account is participating in the service. The check is converted into an electronic item and presented to the check writer's account up to 2 additional times. These increased recovery opportunities are further enhanced by strategic timing and electronic prioritization, which significantly increases the chances the funds will be collected. checXchange helps business customers recover more of what they're owed. Many Americans write checks when they pay for goods and services, but unfortunately, some of them will bounce. What's more, businesses using traditional collection methods recover less than 40% of the value of checks that have been returned due to non-sufficient funds. That's why checXchange is so valuable to our business customers. This no-cost service utilizes proven electronic representment technology to help businesses collect more money from NSF checks, while spending less time and resources on the collection process. There are no setup fees and no equipment to buy, and it's effortless for the business customer once the proper notices are provided. Historically, checXchange recovers 70 to 75% of these checks, instead of the 40% or less collected through traditional methods. Once the funds are recovered, the business gets the full face value of the check, which is automatically deposited into the business account each week. In addition to dramatically improving collections, this service is no cost to the business customers, thereby reducing the expense of collections. The business customer receives 100% of the face value of the check. The program couldn't be simpler to use because checXchange does all the work. Business customers have access to information online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or can call the checXchange customer service during business hours for personal support. More importantly, checXchange will handle all the customer service calls, whether they're from a merchant or from someone who wrote a bad check to one of our business customers. checXchange is good for our bank. This enhanced service to business customers will help grow those valuable relationships. It is great for attracting new business customers and retaining existing ones. Our bank shares in fee income from the NSF check writer. You'll hear more about that in just a few minutes. And the entire process is managed by checXchange. Here's how it works. First, let's say a check is returned to our bank as a return deposit item due to non-sufficient funds. Our bank continues to charge back the business account for the amount of the return deposit item, plus our normal chargeback fee. Here's where the process is a little different. Instead of returning NSF checks to the business owner for collection, our bank automatically sends the NSF return deposit items to the checXchange Check Processing Center. checXchange converts eligible checks to an electronic ACH transaction and resubmits it electronically to the check writer's bank account for payment. That is where the likelihood of payment really increases. Regulations state that paper checks can only be presented twice. Electronic presentment allows for an additional opportunity, further increasing the likelihood of recovering returned items. The bank will no longer redeposit returned checks for participating customers. Along with the additional opportunities for presentment, the dates of the electronic representment are timed to coincide with days of a higher chance of successful recovery, thereby further increasing the likelihood for recovery of the funds. Electronic transactions are typically prioritized to clear ahead of paper checks and drafts, increasing the likelihood of payment. Those three strategies combine to double the collection rate with checXchange compared to traditional collection methods. Along with the electronic presentment of the NSF item, checXchange also creates a separate ACH debit for the state allowable fee, which is charged to the bad check writer's account. The full face value of all NSF items collected by checXchange is deposited into our customer's business account daily, as soon as it is settled and cleared. Finally, when checXchange collects the state allowable fee from the maker of the NSF check, a portion of the fee is shared with our bank. A sticker is included in the welcome kit, and additional stickers are available from checXchange customer service in both English and Spanish. Customers simply call the 800 number and additional stickers will be on their way. Merchants who participate in the program have only one responsibility. That's to post the disclosure sticker at each of their points of sale or incorporate the verbiage on their invoices. They continue to accept checks as they have in the past with no additional steps. Depending on how you have decided to implement checXchange, you will either supply a welcome kit to your merchant upon sign-up, or we will mail one for you. The welcome kit includes welcome letter with information to set up online reporting, FAQ sheet, and 2 point-of-sale stickers. Please keep in mind that an additional benefit is checXchange will handle all customer service calls from our business customers or from the writers of the NSF checks received by our business customers. Is checXchange right for all businesses? No, it is not right for all businesses. What types of businesses are not good candidates for the program? 1. Businesses that require quick cash availability, because it takes usually 10 business days before funds are made available, if the representment was successful. 2. Businesses that want to continue collecting a return check fee from the customer and retaining it for themselves. 3. Businesses such as insurance companies or property management companies that have procedures to initiate certain actions if timely payment is not received. For example, cancellation of a policy or eviction notice. 4. Businesses that can't or won't provide the required check policy notices. For the small percentage of business customers who decide to decline the service, opting out is very easy. The simplest way to opt out is to call checXchange at 1-800-208-2964 or email them at support@checexchange.com. checXchange informs our banks of the opt-outs so we can update our system. Business customers and the writers of NSF checks received by our business customers can call checXchange Monday through Friday from 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock at 1-800-208-2964. A checXchange customer service representative will be there to handle all their questions. In addition to telephone access, our business customers can monitor account activity online 24/7 to track the status of each check in the recovery process, view check images, and view or download reports. To access online information, merchants simply go to our bank website and click on the checXchange logo. checXchange customer service is just a phone call away to provide support for online reporting. Some returned items are not eligible for electronic check recovery, including checks returned due to account closed or stopped payment, checks of $2,500 or more, checks older than 180 days, and checks from a business. Although checks from businesses are not eligible for electronic check recovery, they will be processed for collection by checXchange in paper form. In the event a return check is not eligible for checXchange, or if primary collection efforts through checXchange have been exhausted, checXchange will return the item, or image copy, by mail to the merchant. The merchant will navigate to the login page for the checXchange online reporting. This data is updated 24/7, 365. There's also an option available if a password has been forgotten to reset to a new password. Once logged in, the reporting center is very simple to navigate. The merchant can change password, select reporting, or log out. The page also shows a snapshot of your return check activity for the previous 12 months. The merchant enters a date field description, and date range, and then clicks on Search. The system reports everything that meets the criteria selected. This particular report shows all checks that are in the active status and are scheduled for representment. The report has default display fields, but the merchant can also select the Customize button to change the fields displayed, as well as the sort order. For example, a merchant may want to know how many returned items he has received from a particular customer. The merchant can change the sort order to check writer last name, and the report will now be in that sequence. Now, if the merchant clicks on the Actions drop-down box, they will have the option to get additional detail from the check or look at the actual image of the check. You also have the ability to view every settlement batch for the reimbursements for collected checks. Each line is a different batch. You may also drill down on each one to see the checks that made up that particular settlement batch. With our search feature, you can quickly find a particular check with multiple search options. As you can see, this is a very flexible reporting center that is easy to use for our merchants. Please note that participation is at the account level. A customer may have no accounts enrolled, some accounts enrolled, or all of their accounts enrolled. Also worth noting, there are 2 separate transactions that will be attempted to be collected from the check writer's account. One for the full face amount of the check, and one for the allowable fee. Collected checks may be paid to our merchants' accounts in as little as 10 business days. Although, in some cases, payments may take up to 16 business days, depending on the date the item is received, and whether a second representment is necessary. That wraps up our training for checXchange Electronic Check Recovery, and it is truly a great program for our customers and our bank. Thank you for participating.